What is up, tribe? How y'all doing this evening? I am here to drop you that Love and Hip Hop Atlanta season 7 episode 13. I can't believe we've been doing this for 13 weeks. Like I saw the episode, I was like 13. God darn. And that doesn't even count the little break they took around the holidays, I think, or whenever they took the break between like the first half and the second half when they gave us that little super trailer. We've been doing this for a long time, y'all. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, and I hope you like this video. We start the episode off with them heifers, Tierra, Brittany, and Jasmine. Now, Brittany, I know you just in the scene to get some screen time because you really, I don't think you really give a fuck one way or the other. But Jasmine and Tierra. Now, Tierra, you's a messy hoe. Because when Jasmine was telling her version of the story, you could have just let her tell her version of the story when Rashida didn't call her a fucked up individual. You ain't even have to say that. You could have said, Jasmine tell her version of the story where Rashida said she's just, what she say, she was messed up or something. And Tierra gonna talk about, in her confessional, talk about some, I heard her call you a fucked up individual, but okay. You ain't had to do that. Then, when Jasmine was, Brittany was like, okay, well now what happens next? Which is what all the rest of us were thinking, like, okay, what happens next? Then Tierra gonna say, well, you just have to give her time to heal and process. Bitch, that's what we've been trying to tell you all along. That's why your ass didn't need to follow her down to Daggone Houston. Because she need time to process and heal. And she don't have to talk to you about nothing. Like, why the fuck is she... Okay. I've already been down that road. I'm not doing it again. You don't have nothing to say to Rashida. And then Brittany was like, well... y'all want me to take y'all out on the town? Y'all got that out the way. And they talking about some, nah, we need to go back home. Yeah, because Mona only paid for y'all ass to stay there that one night. Y'all gotta go home. Y'all tickets are waiting for y'all at the train station. She flew y'all out, but y'all taking the train, the bus back. Anyway, then we getting ready to go on this damn Dude Ranch adventure excursion. Now, this is what I'm going to say. They're talking about the Dude Ranch and how it's not 5-star and it's really, a down home. Like, it's really a Dude Ranch. They don't have no bars and all of that. When I went on my safari in Kenya and we were getting ready to book the trip, my cousin actually lives in Kenya, so we had a little bit of an inside scoop. There are tiers to this thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like the basic safari, then there's like the middle safari, then there's like the 5-star safari where, the guy that owns Virgin Airlines has a safari biz company out in the Serengeti, and it's like he has like an outdoor hot tub that overlooks the horizon. Like, that's that 5-star shit. I say all that to say, Mona, you could have sprung for the mid-class Dude Ranch experience. Because I know they have tiers. You're not going to tell me there's only one size fits all, because rich people go on Dude Ranch excursions too. And I feel like this wasn't the bottom of the barrel Dude Ranch, but it wasn't the 5-star either. So anyway, they head out on their journey, and of course they divide people up according to who you can fuck with for 4 hours, right? I don't know how Sean and Carly ended up on the same bus, but they did. And they proceeded to act like they were 5 years old. Carly's so Carly. I don't even know any other way to say it. Carly is just Carly. She is who she is. That's why she's still in the show after 20 damn seasons of not having a storyline. You know what I'm saying? Like, the best storyline they can give Carly is that she got a different boyfriend every season. This shit, she got a little bit of a storyline with her dad, but that's real life shit. And y'all notice she gave us a glimpse of it, but she's not giving us the day-to-day because she's not making it her storyline, because that is some real shit. But this episode shows why Carly is on this show. And I'm rambling, so let me get back to the story. So they head off on this excursion. Like I said, Carly and Sean are going at it. You shut up. No, you shut up. Yo, you shut up. No, you shut up. You just shut the fuck up. Well, you go home if you don't want to be here. You ain't why I'm here. And when Jock is the fucking voice of reason, you have to really question what you doing with yourself. And Jock was like, look, can we just get along? Like, can we just fucking just agree to disagree and just get along? Like, ain't nobody trying to hear that for 4 hours. They talk about horseback riding on the other bus. They having fun. They laughing, joking, kikiing, because they got Tokyo crazy ass over there with her one-liners. Because they talking about riding a horse. And Tokyo was like, I ain't riding no horse. That's animal cruelty. I fell out. She talking about something that ain't right. You know, if I sit on that, you know, basically about her weight being on the horse. And it's cool when you make fun of yourself, you can make fun of yourself. It's when other people make the joke that's not funny. You understand what I'm saying? Anyway, so they on their way. They rolling. All of a sudden, a tire blows out on the bus that Tokyo and them were on. They have to wait for a replacement bus, and you see what people made the best out of it. They had lives, and they were taking pictures, and they would, you know, having, because they would buy a mall, it looks like, but it looks like there was a Sam's Club, so if there's a Sam's Club, there's probably a Walmart, so like, you know, these sort of just playing around and stuff like that. They don't get to the Dude Ranch until it looked like it was dark 30. It was dark, they were tired, they were cold, you know what I mean? And they get there, and then they got to look for their rooms, because, of course, they were expected to be there earlier, and it was supposed to be a game where they would find their room, which ended up not being a game because they were tired and ready to fucking go to bed. So they go to bed. They, you know, like I said, there's no cell reception, which I think is a good thing. I think you should unplug, and I think it's a good thing that they don't have a cell reception, because then people ain't on their phones instead of being in the moment. So I don't think that was a bad thing, and it might even be done on purpose. Like, they may purposely not have a cell tower working in that area for that exact reason. But you see them going to their rooms, and the rooms don't look great. They don't look dirty or anything like that. They're just not modern. You know what I'm saying? They look clean. The facility looks clean and stuff. I ain't talking about that kind of thing. But it's just not modern, which is cool. So the next morning they wake up, and Rashida and Kurt are having this conversation where they're basically rehashing what happened the night before at the opening, and with Jasmine. And, you know, Rashida was like, look, Kurt, you're going to really need to put your bitch on a leash. I'm going to need her to not be running up on me, especially when I'm not even in town. Like, that shit is looking real stalkerish. And then Rashida going to talk up. Now, see, I wasn't going to say nothing, but Rashida brought it up, so I will bring it up. They sharing a room, and Rashida talking about something. Well, we sharing a room, but we ain't sleeping in the same bed. I only saw one bed that looked like the covers was turned back. I'm just saying. But anyway. So we see everybody getting ready to go to breakfast that morning, and you know, Carly's being petty. She comes outside. They have to take a hay ride over to where breakfast is being cooked, and Carly being petty. Carly goes over to Jock, hey Jock, and gives him a hug. And Tokyo is like, see, this is what I don't understand. Carly giving Jock a hug, but last week you couldn't stand him. See, that's what I'm talking about. She just fake. And I'm like, you just don't get Carly, because that's. And I see where that's fake. Don't get me wrong. It is. I see where Tokyo's coming from, that's fake. But I'm like, Carly just trying to make Sean jealous. Like, Jock know what she doing. Sean know what she doing. And Carly knows it ain't really working. But Carly just can't stop being Carly. I don't think it's so much that she's being fake as it is she just doesn't. She don't know how to stop fucking playing games when it comes to men. Because she's messed up a whole lot of relationships because she just don't know how to stop playing games. Even with Jock. Jock said it. You know, like, I really care about, well, later on we see, but he's like, I really care about Carly. I just can't deal with the mess. And if Carly would just get out her own way, she would probably find the love of her life. But that's a whole nother conversation. But again, that's when the light bulb went off, when I was like, you know what? Tokyo just, and I know it's because Tokyo's just not that chick. Like, she can't be fake. She can't pretend to be what she's not, pretend to like who she don't like. Like, she can't do that. And to that I say, maybe this platform isn't for you, because that's what it's about. Like, but no, I rewind. I take that back. This platform is for you because I'm loving you. So I'll take that back. I am loving you on this show. But anyway, so they're headed on over and they run into some bulls. And, you know, again, it's some fun. It's a lot of fun going on until dun, 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 we get to breakfast or lunch. I don't know what they were eating. It felt like breakfast, but then it looked like lunch. So I don't know. But they get there and everybody's there, including Spice and Tokyo and all of that. They're all there. And actually, they had rolled together over on the hayride, and then wasn't any problem. Well, Spice says to Rashida, I just want to thank you for inviting me. I really enjoyed myself last night at the opening. Everything was just so nice. Well, Tokyo took that as her moment to apologize for not coming to the opening. And granted, she was throwing a little bit of a jab. She was putting it out there a little bit because, she was like, I'm sorry that I couldn't make it because da 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 da, But she didn't get, she said, I ran into some problems and, it just couldn't be avoided or what have you. And then Spice starts with the little comments. You ran into a problem? What problem? Bitch, you know what problem she talking about. She talking about you. And so they get to arguing. They get to going back and forth. And again, Tokyo is telling Spice, I don't have a problem with you. I don't have a problem with you. Well, then Spice was like, well, that ain't what Carly said. Well, ding, 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 ding. Now we see why Spice showed up with such an attitude. Because Spice had an attitude with Tokyo, and it was on a level that was unnecessary. Like, off the break. It was like, why are you so mad off the break? Like, why are you so mad? Well, come to find out, Carly had gone back and told Spice the whole conversation that they had at the glam shop, where Tokyo stormed out and was like, fuck you, fuck Spice, fuck Paprika, fuck Tobias. I'm out of here. Well, she had gone back and at some point Carly had relayed that to Spice. Now, how she exactly related to Spice, I don't know. But now, of course, it's like, well, ding, 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 here we go, Carly. And Sierra was like, see, I was trying to give Carly the benefit of the doubt, but now I see that this is where Carly is a little bit messy, because Carly, why would you go back and tell Spice some shit like that? Why would you even repeat that? So here's the thing. I have figured out that Spice's trigger is the word bitch. And for some people, that's just it for them. Like, it's certain things, like, for some people, it's nigga. For some people, it might be, faggot. For some people, it's certain things and certain words that are a trigger that you just cannot control yourself. It is like, boom. And for Spice, it's the word bitch. Because this is the second, maybe third time, but definitely the second time where somebody used the word bitch and Spice went off. Well, Tokyo called her a bitch, and Spice threw the food in Tokyo's face, and security came from nowhere. Like, they were all out in the middle of the field. All of a sudden, you see the men in black. I was like, well, where the fuck? Where were they at? They just on the sidelines chilling, waiting for people to fight. But they get to arguing. Of course, they got to pull them apart or whatever. And then Estelita starts going off. Now, I feel like Estelita just wants some screen time. Because you ain't had shit to do with that. Your name wasn't in it. You ain't had nothing to do with it. But she starts calling out Sierra, saying, well, Sierra, you being fake. And she was like, because after the little argument over brunch, you called Spice and told Spice that Tokyo was wrong for throwing the purse at you. But then you going to turn around and tell Estelita, well, this is what Spice was saying. Then you going to turn around and tell Estelita, well, Spice was wrong. So she was like, make up your mind. Which one is it? Because Spice was like, you phony too, and she was telling Tokyo, you sitting next to that phony bitch, blah, blah, blah. So they get to go. So then Estelita is arguing. They got called security to get Estelita. And Sierra wasn't really trying to fight her. Sierra was like, what is the problem? Like, I'm not trying to fight you. Like, what is the issue? This is so stupid. Why are we fighting? What is this all about? Y'all, the three funniest things that happened. No, two funny, one sad. The two funniest things that happened was, one, that damn jock ordering another burrito right before the fight was getting ready to happen. Because he was like, we about to get dinner and a show. So I need to make sure I got my food. And let me get the fuck out the way before it go down. Two, Mimi ass ain't stopped eating. Mimi ass ain't stopped eating the whole fight. And sat there and looked at them like, what you won't do is knock my plate out of my hand. The sad thing though was, them white folk was standing around looking at them like they had lost their fucking mind. Like, I don't know what those guys were told. I don't know how much they were told that this is real versus this is part of a show. And it's like, I don't know what they were told, but they are standing there straight up looking at them like they crazy. Like, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Like, they really truly were like. So they separate them and they get Spice and Estelita in a van, and of course y'all saw the clip where Spice gets out the van and runs back, and then here come Estelita, and they got to separate them again. Well, when all this was going on, now BK jumping in it. I guess he feel like he got to defend his woman, and he starts yelling at Estelita, and Estelita is like, well, fuck you. You gonna yell at me? You trying to fight a woman? Blah, 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 blah. Again, I just feel like Estelita just trying to get some camera time. Like, that's it. You just trying to get on camera. So they separate them all out. They're trying to, they're pulling the girls away to try to talk to them and figure out what's going on. Here go Carly and BK. Carly and BK get into it, and Carly is like, the fuck you in my face for? Like, she was like, look, don't come at me with that bullshit. I got my father on my mind. I got other stuff going on. I ain't really got time for all this right now. So you got a whole nother like situation, and you see probably the most touching and probably the most sincere scene of the whole episode, and I don't even know how sincere it was, but it looked sincere to me, was when Jock went after Carly, and he was like, what's going on with you? And Carly was like, why do you care? Like, you don't even care. Why are you here? You don't care, what's wrong with me? And he was like, look, I wouldn't be here if I didn't care. Like, I care. I just ain't trying to turn this into no mushy situation, but I do want to know what's going on with you. And so he said, what's up I heard you say something about your dad. What's up with your dad? And Carly was like, I don't really want to talk about it because every time I talk about my father, I start crying. She was like, but, it's just a lot. It's a lot on me. And they actually have a moment, and that dumbass Jock, he breaks it up because I guess it was getting too mushy for him. He started talking about he passed gas and his stomach bubbling, and so it kind of broke the tension a little bit, but it was a really nice scene, and it was a very touching scene between the two of them. But back to the bullshit. So they decide, they go back and forth. Mimi's telling everybody what happened, getting everybody caught up on what happened and stuff. And of course the men just think it's stupid because men just don't trip like that, like women do over dumb shit like this. Then we see, why is Melissa here? Why does Melissa exist on the show? Why? Melissa has a scene with Tokyo. And that's the other thing. That whole time that was going down, Erica Mena ain't move either. Now you remember Erica Mena and Estelita was supposed to be cool until they kind of had that little argument over Estelita messing with Stevie J again. Erica Mena ain't blink, ain't move. She was drinking her drink. She wasn't jumping in it to help. None of that, So anyway, I'm sorry. I'm just trying to make sure I get it all in, y'all, because it was a lot going on in that scene. But Sierra is now blaming everything on Carly. Sierra is like, all of this goes back to Carly. Now I see, she was like, I was trying to work with Carly and trying to ignore how messy Carly is. But now I see, all of this started because Carly went back to Spice and told Spice what Tokyo said. No, all this started because Tokyo said it. Now don't get me wrong. Carly didn't need to carry it back. But let's remember, when Carly carried that information back, Tokyo wasn't speaking to Carly. Tokyo had kind of was mad at Carly and wasn't speaking to her. And y'all know how petty fucking Carly is. And again, I'm not making no excuses for her petty, but we know that she's petty. So she probably did have a conversation with Spice where she repeated some shit. But Tokyo, don't act like you didn't say it. You did say fuck Spice, Paprika, whatever her name is. That's what you said. Anyway, which Tokyo takes ownership of. She just doesn't see why it was a problem that she said it. So then we get to the Melissa comment. And then Melissa's talking to, Tokyo and, well, what's wrong? How can we resolve this? I really hate to see you guys fighting. But like, why are you here? I don't know why you're here. She gives Tokyo this stuffed animal that she just happens to have in her luggage. Like, it's not like you went to the commissary or you went down to the gift shop. Like, and maybe you did, I don't know, but you just happen to have a teddy bear that you're going to give Tokyo because you're like, I see that you're feeling bad and I just want to, talk to you a little bit. I feel bad for Tokyo. I don't want her to feel like she doesn't have a friend here. She got friends. BK is her boy. Her and Sierra Rocket, like, what are you talking about? Like, Tokyo ain't off to the corner by herself crying. Like, she's, you know what I'm saying? But anyway, Tokyo just goes on to explain to her that, Because she was like, well, why did you hit Spice with that purse? Like, that was just wrong. And she was like, look, I was trying to be nice. I was trying to be calm. She just kept poking, poking, poking. So, yeah, I finally felt like I had to introduce her to my purse across her forehead. Like, it was just, I don't know. It was just stupid. So, finally, Melissa was like, well, I really want to see if we can work this out. You know, if I set it up, will you talk to Spice? And, Tokyo's thing is, look, it ain't the first time I've been called fat. That ain't my issue. I know me. I love who I am. It's just the point that that's how you coming at me. Like, just because I'm cool with being a big girl, just because I accept that I'm a big girl, doesn't mean that I need to hear it all the time. Doesn't mean that need to be the first thing out your mouth every time you get into an argument or whatever. Which, as a big girl, I get it. I understand. Like, it don't hurt no more, but it ain't like that's what I want to hear either. And, Spice was like, Tokyo was like, there are a lot of women that reach out to her that love the fact that she represents so hard for the big girls. So, Tokyo agrees to talk to Spice. So because they're having this big bonfire, and Rashida's thing is, I want us to have a good time. I don't want to have to worry about y'all fighting. And the bonfire is for us to heal. It's for everybody to just heal and get along and just heal. Everybody be happy. All right, whatever, Rashida. So they meet up. Tokyo and Spice meet up. And then Rashida was like, okay, well, I'm going to let y'all talk it out. I'm going to go get the rest of it. I'm going to go get everybody else. I'm going to leave y'all alone. Really? You going to leave him alone? I know they weren't alone. I know security was there. I get that. But really? You just going to let them talk this out on them amongst themselves? Nobody going to mediate. Okay. Well, they get to talking, and once again, Tokyo says, I don't have a problem with you. And that's when Spice was like, well, Carly says this, that, and the other. And Tokyo was like, look, this is what I said. And she, like I said, to her credit, she repeated what she said. However, she just didn't feel like it was a problem. She was like, I was just saying, fuck you, fuck her, fuck Tobias, fuck the whole situation. But she was like, that Carly is misconstruing my words. She's taking them out of context. But I don't think she is. You said fuck her. That is what you said. You called her paprika. And you said fuck her. Now, maybe it's just who you are. And that's just how you talk. And you don't see it as a big deal. But don't get mad because it got back to Spice. Now, granted, the way it got back to Spice might be a little messy. But if the shit got back to you that she was calling you China and everything else that she was calling you, you probably feel some kind of way about that too. And if she was like, well, fuck, China, whatever the fuck her name is, like, you would feel some kind of way about that too. So, it is what it is. But they talked, and they basically agreed to just be cordial. Like, they ain't resolved nothing. They ain't shake on it. They ain't hug it out. It was just kind of like, well, I'm going to stay the fuck out your way for the rest of this trip, and you just stay the fuck out of my way. And Tokyo was like, cool, I'm cool. And, all right. But Tokyo said something. She was talking fast, and she said, but is, or something like that. And it sounded like bitch, because the first time I heard it, I thought it was bitch too. But then when I heard it again, because in the preview, they showed it. And you saw Tokyo say, what? Did you call me bitch? Like, did you say bitch? Because that's when I realized, and when I knew before that was her trigger, but I was like, okay. She was waiting to see if she wanted to hear whether Tokyo had called her out her name, called her a bitch again. And Tokyo was like, what? What do you mean? What did I say? She was like, well, did you call me a bitch? And she was like, I might have. Like, that's what I do. She was like, I just call people bitches. Don't get mad. Just call me a bitch back. Like, it's cool. But again, Tokyo, you have to respect other people. Like, that might be how you and your friends talk to each other, and it might not be a problem. But everybody's not cool with that. And everybody's not cool with being called a bitch or being called out their name. Like, I could talk to my friends and call them a bitch or whatever, or they could call me a bitch back, and I ain't gonna take it no kind of way. But if I don't know you like that, and me and you already got beef, you don't have that luxury of calling me a bitch, because it's a different meaning behind it. It's a different connotation. Now, I ain't saying I'm gonna throw no purse at you, or I'm gonna throw a plate of food in your face for calling me a bitch. However, it probably ain't gonna end too pretty. So you gotta, Tokyo, I know you're growing. I still love you, baby, and I know you're growing and you're maturing, and these are things that you learn as you get older. But what you have to do is you have to listen. You don't have to like Spice, and you don't even have to like Spice's delivery, but you have to hear what she's telling you. And she's telling you that she doesn't like being called a bitch. And you don't know her story, you don't know her history, you don't know why that word is a trigger for her, but it is clear that that word sets her off. And there may be, I mean, I'm going way left with this, but it could be a situation where she may have been assaulted as a child and that was how she was referred to. She may have been abused as a child and not called her name, called her a bitch her whole life. You don't know why it's a trigger, but it is a trigger for her and you have to respect that. And it's not just in this show or in this setting, but that's just a rule of life. When people tell you something, you don't have to like it or agree with it, but you should respect it. And I've been rambling and I'm done. That was my lesson for the night. But that was we see them all go back to the campfire, and then you see where Sierra and Estelita are about to get into it, and that's pretty much it where it ended. Because again, I feel like Estelita's just trying to get some camera time, because the reason why you mad is just some old dumb shit off the break. And again, there is no Stevie J. I don't know where Stevie J is. They said that he's working on his legal issues, and that's why he's not there, but we have not seen Stevie J in probably about 5 episodes, and as him being a marquee person on this show in the opening credits and all of that, it's just weird that he don't have no filler scene, no showing him in the studio working on track. Like, there's nothing. Like, they could have went into some stock footage and showed something. Like, we could have seen him, like I said, we could have just seen him in the studio working on a track that ain't nobody ever going to hear. We wouldn't know, because it happens every episode, every season. You know what I mean? But neither here nor there. I'm going to end it there. Y'all drop it in the comments. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. And like it. Thumbs up. I hope you like it. If not, thumbs down. Have a good day. Bye.